Alright guys, this is Justin with Horrorland Media.
This is Carl.
I have a green light.
And Lee's driving, I don't know what she's doing. We're trying not to die.
We're almost ran over by hood rats.
It's okay, we still made it. We are getting ready to head to Horrorhound here in Cincinnati. We are driving currently, we should be there shortly. What are you looking most forward to, Carl?
Scott Ian from Anthrax.
There you go. I'm gonna buy lots of movies, please.
I'm along for the ride.
Hello.
She's a supporter of our bad habit of spending all our money.
She didn't support me very good the other night. She chewed me up one side and down the other.
I did not.
Damn it. We may have to go on Jerry Springer about this.
Right? Anyways, guys, we'll get some clips inside the convention. We'll do a haul video at the end, so stay tuned. This is Welcome to Horrorland, Episode 3.
Don't forget, this is why we're here. Right there.
Mothershucker!
Welcome to Horrorland.
In 400 feet at the end of the
Okay.
left, and your destination
We
Sharonville
got 9
Convention
gallons
Center
of
is
Diet
on your
Mountain
left.
Dew. Got plenty of caffeine in me so far. I'm just a little shaky. And this
Turn
opens
left
at what
and then
time?
your
11?
destination
11.
Sharonville Convention Center is
And
on
if
your
we buy
left.
the $20
If it's available, I mean, I don't know if it will be or not.
Ink Fusion Tattoo Empire, could care less about that. Oh, they're not lined up very bad so far. Well, not great, but I mean, not very bad. Hey, well, yeah, I guess they.
Turn left and then turn left.
Hey, boys and girls.
This is your 5-minute warning till the door's open.
The next thing I want to hear out of him is fucking science.
we just finished Horrorhound. Well, not just finished. Several hours ago, we got out. We showed several of the vendors. Didn't show all of them. Horrorhound it's packed. It's a lot of people in that small room. When you're walking through trying to look at everything, I didn't get a lot of the vendors. The video's kind of shaky. We got some just to kind of show you guys what Horrorhound has to offer. But Carl, what did you think of this convention overall?
It was fun. But there were not a lot of guests here. I think initially they had something like 80 something. It's close to 80 guests, and 35 maybe 40. I don't know.
They had 4 full rows. So
did they? Yeah. I didn't see a lot of them. I really, honestly.
We didn't go down one aisle at all.
Yeah, we didn't go down one aisle at all. And most of the people I want to see are going to be at Scarefest. So I was only here for Scott Ian from Anthrax. But the vendors were really good. They had a lot of Severin was here. A bunch of people we bought movies from were here. So it was first time I've been in a long time. It's better than.
I think this is the third time for me and Lee coming, and we've kind of seen a progression. So the first year we came, it was just one big vendor room, concrete floor, and in my opinion, that was the best year. And then when we came the last time, they were doing some construction, and they had some stuff blocked off. The parking was really wonky. And then this year you go in, and it's carpeted, and they had a big partition up, and the guests were all on one side. They weren't mingled in with any of the vendors or anything like that, so it kind of added a weird dynamic, but it was still a fun time. But like I said, it's always a packed show, and as you just saw in the clips we just showed, it is packed. They definitely pack them in there. It's, I didn't get any clips of Mask Fest just because when we got down there, it was hotter than.
Oh, it's hotter than hell.
It was bad.
It was. It was probably 80 degrees, 80 plus degrees down there.
Yeah,
not a lot of space. You couldn't really. You didn't have enough room to maneuver the cameras, and there was probably a couple or 3,000 people there.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah. And I heard a lot of the Mask Fest vendors saying, they wish they had more space because by the time they got their totes with their extra inventory and stuff in it, they couldn't even sit behind their booth. Yeah, so you got them kind of lingering, hanging out to the side, taking up aisle space too, because there was nowhere else for them to go. So it was just a weird dynamic. We couldn't tape any of that. I wish we could have, because man, those masks are
incredible masks,
insane.
There were some that were super. There were some that were super expensive, and you could understand why the quality was great. But then there were booths that were selling them for $100, $200 that were great. I mean, they were worth every penny of it. I mean, and they were quality enough to film with. So
yeah, for sure.
It was. It's like I said. It's the first time I've been in a few years, and. It was different than what I expected. I expected there to be a lot more stars and a lot more. I guess I thought it would be bigger. Having come from Scarefest last October, which was just freaking.
And that's 75
almost too
last
big.
year. Yeah.
Almost too big.
And they've added on that having 100 this year.
Yeah,
so
got 100 this year.
So.
And then you got Rupp Arena, which is gigantic. Mm-hmm. So you've got all that space. But I thought the way they had it set up was good, and I thought the flow was good. You didn't have any problems maneuvering the aisles. I mean, you could see all the merch. You didn't have people just piled up on top of you where you couldn't get to what you wanted to see. It was actually a good time. Had a lot of good vendors there. And that's my weakness. That's where all my money goes, is to the vendors mostly anyway.
And their line building is something too. While the guy that kind of yells out and says 15 minutes, and he's good at his job, but he is annoying. But their flow is amazing. I mean, we were in the door, which I think they had all of your VIP and early access, which started at 10. They had them in within 10 minutes, and then we didn't go in until 11, so we had to snake around the line building that they had. But I mean, we were in the door within 5 minutes, if even that, from 11 o'clock when we were let in. So they really do a good show, and like I said, Carl and then they come from Carl and Eric, which unfortunately wasn't with us. They come from buying and doing that, where me and Lee come from more vending. So this show for us is one where we've been multiple times, because this is my show to come and buy stuff. So from that point, I always like seeing the vendors. They've always got a lot of the big movie booths where I don't have to order and pay shipping and wait for it to get here. So, I think we can all say we had fun.
Oh, it was a good day.
Yeah.
It was a good day. It was quick. I was surprised at that. I think that's the one thing that caught me off guard was the flow was smooth.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I appreciated more than any place I think I've been in a long time is the aisles.
Mm-hmm.
The width of the aisles.
Yes.
That is freaking huge, man.
They were. The only thing was it seemed like when you got over there, like when you were looking at Paul Bear Press, I swear that aisle was like 3 or 4 foot smaller because that was the most congested aisle. It's like they got to the end before they put up that partition wall and they were like, crap, we're out of room, and they just screwed that aisle but that was the only part of the entire show where really we couldn't move.
Yeah, and the rest of them were wide enough, man. You could get through the crowd easy. You could get around into the booths you wanted to go to. It was cool. The flow was really, really good.
Yeah.
And like I said, the vendors, a lot of great vendors there, and prices weren't bad. About average what we are accustomed to seeing.
Yep.
Nothing crazy.
So we'll go ahead. We'll show our stuff. We're not going to make this too long-winded of a week for you. Next week will be a little bit longer because we are going to do a early 2000s remake review. We're going to go over those. We're going to rank them. We've got some scorecards. We're going to see where they rank in comparison to IMDb, Google. Lee's watching a lot of these for the first time. So we won't, you guys will see the list when we do that. And then after that, we will be doing Mothershucker. So both of those will be a little bit longer videos. So we'll make this one a little shorter. We'll go ahead and get into our haul. So I'll lead off with Mask Fest. We got these both from the same vendor. And his tag was on here. Coffin Ghoul. Yep, it's on that one. So these are just 2 really cool clown masks that they had. He makes these hand sculpts. He said each one of them was a little different. For them, they had a lot of, you could barely tell that they were different in some ways. But these are really thick, really well made. And these were $20 a piece. So
they're like their standard.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. So they do a really good job. They do customs and things like that. So really cool to meet them and to get to talk with them. We don't have a clown movie in the works, but that may be something. Hopefully one day you may see those masks maybe. So and then next up here, my first purchase was the first booth. The first booth when you walked in the door just about was Diabolic DVD. So I did get Ratman. It was $30. This is just one I've never seen it. I've heard a lot about it, so decided we'd pick it up. And then as we were walking around, they did have Scream Team releasing. I love their stuff. They were $20 a piece, or buy 4 get 1 free. So I did partake in that. Of course, I got a Cadaver Christmas. Again, I've not seen the trailer for some of these. I just got them. These first 2 I got just to make the 5. We got Spider Baby.
That's a good movie. I think you'll like that.
I have not seen it. This one they said was new. I think this is actually available on their site, but it is their newest release, and that is Worst Laid Plans. I believe this is like an anthology. So it looks like it was a 2022 winner of the New York City Horror Film Festival, so looking forward to that one. He said this next one was their October release. It's 1031 Part 4. I've got all these. These are really good, like Halloween anthologies. So that time is coming up, approaching rapidly, so that'll be a must-watch. And then the last one, he said this one was actually not going to be released on their site until December, but they had it as a convention exclusive, and that is Night Terrors. This is the collector's edition. It says 3 blood-soaked tales of terror. So Scream Team releasing seems to be really big into the anthologies. That's mostly
always
what
have been.
Yes. So next we went to, well, not next, but one of the last booths we went to was Dark Sky Films. And man, you cannot beat their prices. As far as pricing, they had the absolute best pricing of anybody there. So everything I'm going to show in this sack was $10 a piece. So they had Death Spa on Blu-ray. It's the Blu-ray DVD combo. They had the Stakeland collection. This is part 1 and 2. Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen part 1. I've only seen part 2. It was a pretty good film when I saw it, so looking forward to checking out the first one. They had Stigmata. I think pretty much any horror fan has seen this one. It's a horror, but it's also kind of a thriller. It's not full-blown, like blood guts, gore. Yeah. This one I picked up, Faceless After Dark. This is one of their newer releases. I seen that it was available for pre-order when I pre-ordered the Hatchet Steelbook. So look forward to checking that one out. And then got Faces of Death Collection, the DVD. I've never actually seen these. I know that I've seen part one, but I have never seen the other ones. So figure even if they were to get a Blu-ray release, you couldn't beat the DVD quality because of the way that they were filmed. So the DVD was $10. And then my last pickup was Necromantic 2 here from Arrow. This is brand new, factory sealed. This is long out of print. This is the Region B version, but it was $20. So really looking forward to that one. Necromantic's not my favorite film, but it's okay. So part 2 definitely takes a turn, but we'll see. You never know.
Isn't that an Arrow?
It is. Yes, this is an Arrow. So really big. I mean, it's a big, thick, nice collector's edition. And like I said, this is long out of print because this came out in 2015. So already almost 10 years old. So really cool. So that's all we got. Oh, we stopped at Terrence Muncie's booth. Yeah. So we did get some prints, but they're in the car, so I didn't bring those
24 by what, 36?
Yeah, they're really nice prints. Maybe we'll show those next week or something. Because I definitely want to give Terrence his due. We've got some big things coming with Terrence to talk about here in the next couple weeks. Yeah. So we definitely want to show his art, but like I said, they're too big to bring in. So we will have those maybe next week. Like I said, we can show them. So we're just maybe I may even insert a clip of them at the end of this one because one of the ones me and Carl got's the same. So I may just take a video and insert it in this one.
That'll work.
And kind of show you guys what we got there. So Carl, you're up, man.
All right. I was only going to buy a pair of shorts in one movie, and I lied. So
we knew that wasn't going to happen, but
no.
We just let him continue to believe that.
Yeah, it's terrible. I need therapy. I don't know where to get help. These actually aren't mine. I bought these for my brother because he loves these shorts. Paul Bearer Press does great shorts and t-shirt sets, and this is Faces of Death, which he loves. So I got him those to get him fixed. I also bought the Faces of Death. This is all 4 plus 2 extras. I've seen this. I've been watching this since I was a kid, so love it. And then these are perfect, because I love all of these. I've wanted the Gates of Hell. I haven't had this in like 15 years. I had a DVD. I have no idea whatever happened to that. And then I got this one on Blu-ray. I've got the City of the Living Dead, but I've also got I have the Gates of Hell. And if you pull out the jacket, it's the City of the Living Dead inside the Gates of Hell jacket.
Is that the 4K?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a 4K. That makes it even better.
It's the 4K one. And then I love anything animal or insect that wants to kill us. So we did all 4 of these. I got Empire of the Ants, Food of the Gods, Squirm, which is my favorite, and Frogs. How you go wrong with that, right? These are all Blu-ray. Could have got them cheaper. I think they were, $16 online, but spur of the moment, who cares?
The greatest thing about this, I just want to interject for a second. As Carl mentioned, he wants to spend $200 the whole time. And the first booth, all those Gates of Hell and all 4 of those Kino Lorber Man-Eater titles came from Diabolic DVD. That's the first booth we hit, guys, and the whole time Carl is just sweating, and he's like, "I'm not going to stay on budget." So yeah, that was bad. It was kind of the running joke for the day.
It really was. Diabolic was good to us. They had all the, and honestly, I walked away not buying 4 movies I wanted just because it was getting bad. And
we had just gotten there.
Yeah, we had just walked in the door, and I'm like, I'm going to spend $200. That's all I brought to spend. And I spent $200 the first 90 seconds we were there.
A shout out to Diabolic, because one of the big things was, I know you asked, because you got a bundle. He was like, if I get more than 1, can you give me a deal? And they did tell him no. But I have seen, I don't know how many vendors when we go to these shows, and when they're like, "Well, no, screw you, you're just wanting something for free." That wasn't the case.
No,
and that guy was extremely nice about it, and I mean, he couldn't have been any nicer. And he was like, he's like, "I mean, we've really got him priced as low as we can." He was super nice, and that's why Carl still wound up buying those 5 titles from him instead of being like, "Well, screw you, I'm only going to get one."
Yeah.
So shout out to them for that, because again, I've seen vendors just be complete buttholes about that kind of stuff.
And they were super cool. They explained, and I get it. I mean, you probably shouldn't ask vendors to lower their prices, but I mean, we're all gonna do it. If you're buying, $150 worth of movies, give me $10 off, whatever. But when they explain that, this is not their gig, they're selling these for the owner of that company. Diabolic was great to us. Their quality of their product is great. So now the big thing for me was I love Anthrax. I have since I was a kid, and I wanted to see Scotty Ian. So this is my guy right here. I've been a nut for this band since Spreading the Disease came out like '82. So he's huge for me. Got 2 8x10s of him. Super sweet, man. He was a great guy. He hung out and talked to me for quite a while. I mean, he was just fantastic. And then I've got a Phantasm poster for Scarefest, because they have a Phantasm reunion there. It's going to be great. This fellow, I cannot remember his name to save my life. We buy more stuff from him. I've bought probably 40 t-shirts and 20 or 30 posters over the last 3 or 4 years. This fellow is fantastic. He's always cutting us deals. Like, these are $12, let me have it for 10. And me and Eric will buy, 5 or 6 of these. He cuts us deals all the time. And now the bane of my existence, and why I'm going to be eating ramen noodles for many, many days to come, was this. This is limited edition.
Getting nervous there, Lee?
I mean, there's a knife coming towards me, but I do trust Carl, so we should be.
However, we don't know how much we trust him, because he has told us all day that all these purchases are our fault, because we asked him if he would like to go to Horrorhound with us. And suddenly we apparently held a gun to his head and made him buy things.
It was terrible. You should have seen it. Threatening to make me walk home. I mean, there's been some things.
It happens.
So this, when I was a kid, we used to run home after school and try to catch our favorite TV show, which is a one-of-a-kind ever. And it is...
And that's even nicer than the one they had on this one.
This is way nice.
Man.
I got a 131 disc Dark Shadows box set. Costs a fortune, but it has all 1,254 episodes. And when you open it, the spines, Barnes Collins. How badass is that? And they're all, you'll look through, it tells you step by step. It's fantastic.
That thing is nice. Like, it's thick too. Like, it's a nice box. It's not cheap.
Nice box. It's not cheap at all.
That came from Dark Sky, right?
Dark Sky. They
470 hours, Carl. I'm reading the back.
Yeah.
You're going to be watching those for a while.
It's incredible. It was a vampire soap opera. Started in the 60s, ran forever, and I absolutely loved it. Jonathan Frid played Barnabas Collins, and that was when I was 8 years old, and he scared the hell out of me. And I would come home from school every single day, and my grandma would always have that on for me to watch. So it's a super special memory. And did I need it? No. Am I going to watch it? Yep. So this was my big thing that I swore I was not going to buy. And then when I said, yeah, I don't think I'm going to buy that. And then, somebody told me, they held that for you. You're kind of obligated at this point.
They could have had it sold to someone else, but they put it back specifically for you. You had to go get it. That's all there was to it.
Yeah, that's fine. And I'm calling you up for food runs.
So for those of you who cannot get a hold of Carl over the next probably 2 or 3 years, he's probably going to be okay. He's just watching Dark Shadows. Keep calling him, keep bugging him. Let's make sure he's okay. But he's probably just watching Dark Shadows.
And it is this. I wish you could see it in person. It's unbelievable how heavy that is. It's 131 discs with 1,255 or 58 episodes, I believe.
And it says right here, I don't know if you've got it on your side, but apparently there's only 5,000 of these because they each come individually in a box. Scar has number 4,312. So getting close to the end. I'm sure they didn't sell them in order, and I think they said this was one of the few that they had left. I think he said this was the last one they had left in the box.
Yeah.
That was brand new.
So
like
mine's
that,
brand new, never been unboxed till now. So y'all got to experience that. And seriously, if you ever have a chance, I mean, it's impressive. I was really surprised at how heavy that was and how sturdy the coffin box was. So yeah, that makes me happy. Big memories from my childhood. My grandmother, who's no longer with us, so that makes it even a little more special. But yeah, it's well worth it.
Well, there you go. Alright guys, so quick little side note here. We said we had bought some stuff from Terrence Muncie, but we were not able to show it. Well, it's the next day. I am home, and we are able to show off what we got. So the first one here is Halloween. This is Michael Myers. Me and Carl both picked up one of these. As you can tell, Terrence's artwork, if you're not really familiar with it, it has kind of almost a cartoony look to it, but the vibrant colors that he uses is really what makes his art special. I love his artwork. These are 24 by 36. We do have some cool Terrence Muncie news upcoming in our Mothershucker episode, so we definitely want to make sure that you guys stay tuned for that. This one is the ghost face from Scream. Again, just that red and purple really going with the white and black there. Absolutely gorgeous. I love these. I cannot wait to get these added, pinned up on the wall. As you can see, they're framed. Absolutely love these guys. So again, these are from Terrence Muncie. Now, back for the end of the video. Alright, so I guess to end this episode, the main question would be, would you go back to Horrorhound?
Yeah, I think so. I like the vendor situation. And like I've been doing this forever. For 30-something years. I was at the 10th anniversary of Halloween in Pasadena in '88 and been doing it seriously since then. So there's not a lot of, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not really into a lot of modern horror. Never have been. I'm more 70s, 80s fixated, and there's not a lot of people left that I really want to get autographs for. And most of those, honestly, I'm wrapping up at Scarefest. I'm getting the Phantasm and Fright Night Cruise, and then the Jasons, and I'm pretty much, I think I'm done autograph wise for now. But the vendor situation was really good. I'll still go to conventions because I'll never stop buying t-shirts, posters, and movies. I mean, that's my DNA.
Would you go back with us?
I'm always up for a road trip.
There you go. See? Yeah, I would go back. It's probably the biggest one that I get to go to that we don't vend. So for that, I do like it. I like to see, we've seen Tyrant Toys there today, so it's always good to see them. It's always good to see Terrence Muncie.
Okay.
It's good to see, even though this show I was very disappointed with their booth, it's always good to see Vinegar Syndrome at a show.
Yeah.
But all they had was their pre-order stuff. They brought absolutely no back catalog, but also the two people that they had watching their booth I had never seen before.
No, they were completely new. Same thing with Paul Bearer Press.
Yeah.
Those two dudes were new. Yeah. I'd never met them before.
And the guy with the glasses that ran your card, he sat with Synapse in Chicago. So he's not usually with Paul Bearer Press, I don't think. So that's...
Yeah, because, I mean, we had literally just this weird tangent. Me and Eric bought basically Vinegar Syndrome and Paul Bearer Press were at Days of the Dead in Atlanta. We basically bought the booth. We bought one of every movie. I bought all their shirts and all their blankets, so we basically took home their whole booth. And we've known all the guys, and then this time it was, like you said, Vinegar Syndrome and Paul Bearer Press. We'd never met either of the guys that were watching the booth.
Yeah. And I'm not sure how far that goes into because I don't know anything about their booth situation, but I don't know if they get product and they just watch the booth or if they have to order the product and say, this is Horrorhound and we need 10 copies of that. I don't know how that works, but I do have to say, I had 3 or 4 titles I was really wanting to get from Vinegar Syndrome. I've held off on their sales and stuff because I was like, I'm going to get those when we go to Horrorhound. And then when they didn't have them, that was probably my biggest letdown because I did have several things I wanted to get from them. But Usually it's a lot better. Synapse, I don't buy a lot of their stuff.
Severin was there.
They were, yeah.
And I don't buy.
I don't buy a lot. I just did get my halfway Black Friday order. So
Yeah, and I buy some of their, not much though.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff I buy is from, like I got an Arrow and Shout Screen, that kind of thing. That's where I kind of. And but yeah, overall the vendor situation, it was varied. The one thing, and I'm glad I thought about it. The one thing that was not there that made me happier than anything.
what's that?
All the knick-knack, homemade, let's glue 2 sticks together and put a piece of string on it, and it's a haunted totem.
Yeah, they didn't have
I
a lot of
can't
that.
stand
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah.
It drives me up the wall.
Yeah.
Everybody does that. Everywhere you go, it's like homemade picture frames made out of scrap wood. And they want $40. Well, I don't dig that.
This one did have a lot more homemade stuff, but it was good homemade
It was
stuff.
really high quality
I
stuff.
didn't see, usually when you go to these shows, it's figure after figure after figure, and like really there was Tyrant
Turtle
Toys who
News.
had
Yeah,
figures, and then
Tyrant
there was like
Toys.
1 or 2 other. I mean, Mezco was there doing a bunch of pre-order stuff. They didn't even have, I don't think, anything you
Not
could
much.
get in your hand from them there. And I mean, that was really, there was 2 or 3 other people, but that was about it. So
Yeah.
that was also a lot different too. So
It was.
they really did a good job of differentiating. You had Orbit DVD, which was there. I think that was a first time then for them. Kind of let down in their booth. They didn't bring a whole lot of stock with them. Of course.
Then I get that first time out.
Yeah, they might not have known how much to bring, but I order from them. I have 2 or 3 packages a week coming from them, so that'll not change that. So yes,
And I was amazed at how many T-shirt vendors there were.
there were a lot of shirts.
There were a lot of shirt vendors and a lot of really good T-shirts. Unfortunately, I only saw 2 items for Phantasm, which is my big focus this year at Scarefest.
And there was a lot of versatility. Like
There was.
There wasn't 1,000,001 shirt vendors that all had Friday the 13th.
No, they were all different.
We saw a bunch of good. I saw several Goosebumps shirts that I really like because I like Goosebumps when I was a kid. So
And my favorite shirt that I saw is the one that you found me, the Hawaiian blue and white Hawaiian shirt with the Jaws poster on the
yeah,
back.
Lee found that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like anything that's flannel that's got like back patches of horror movies. I love those things. But there was really diverse. You didn't, another thing I noticed, I only saw a couple of people selling the tumblers and the cups and stuff, and they both had different stuff.
Yeah, that's usually a big
They
oversell,
oversaturated,
like,
and everybody's got the same 3 or 4 designs, and it was. I really enjoyed that. I thought it was neat. I get to see a lot of vendors I've never seen before.
Yeah.
I'd never seen Orbit, Dark Sky. I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool, just to be able to walk in there and see all the people, and see Terrence. The one thing that I'm surprised by, I only saw 2 people that I even recognized from Scarefest.
Gotcha.
And I'm wondering if that's because it's so close. We're a month out from Scarefest.
Probably. People are saving.
Yeah, and I know, to be honest with you, man, I'm not gonna lie, I screwed myself today. I really did. I beat myself up for this for a month. Do I regret it? No.
We'll link Carl's PayPal in the description. That way you guys can send him some money because
Yeah.
we don't want him eating ramen for the next month.
Daddy need help. I'm diabetic too. I can't handle the carbs. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. And I thought it was well ran.
Yeah. We enjoyed it too. We're glad that you came with us, Carl. We do hate that Eric couldn't be here. He actually was not going to be able to come anyways because of work. But shout out to Eric when you watch this because you're sick and that sucks super bad. So we hope
Brother's
that you
got
get
COVID.
well. We hope that you get well super quick. But the thing is, while we're here buying all this stuff, Eric has COVID and he's probably at home watching all the films for next week's episode. That is the 2000s remake. So we'll all have homework to do when we get home, and Eric's just going to be like coughing and he's going to be sick, but he's going to be like, I've got my homework done and I get an A for the week.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think y'all will like it. It's going to be and it's I don't know, pet peeve, Mom. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The good thing is there's so many, and that's one thing that we really want to touch on this channel is Carl and Eric are, I'm 30 and Carl and Eric are quite a bit older than
And
me.
I'm
So
61.
we have very differing opinions on horror because Carl's already said he doesn't like a lot of newer stuff. I don't love the newer stuff, but I'm not as down on it as he is just because of the age difference. And then you have the dynamic of Lee, who does not watch horror at all unless it is with me. So she really has a different opinion. Like, things that irk her are things that the rest of us laugh at. The home invasion, stuff like that. Like, yes, that stuff could really happen, but that stuff really kind of makes her skin crawl. And the rest of us are like, that's 90% of the movies that are made nowadays. So you really get a different dynamic with us, and we can't wait to bring that out next week.
And I
when
think
we go
you'll
over this.
enjoy it, because Eric, it could be a total turd, and Eric will find something positive to say. I am not that guy.
So make sure you tune in next week. Like I said, we don't have an exact date, but it will be released next week sometime after we get it filmed. So we definitely look forward to that. And then again, in 2 weeks, that's 2 weeks, we'll be doing our Mothershucker episode, which, God, I cannot wait for that one. We'll be going over the cast. We'll unveil the Blu-ray. We're going to have so much fun with that one.
Yeah, it's going to be great. We may be able to get some of the actors. I'd love to be able to try to get some of the actors in. But
we'll have to see work schedules. We'll have to see.
People with work schedules and school schedules, I don't care, is in school full time.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun. And you know what though, we may be a week off, because we don't know what Eric's condition will be next week to film.
You are correct.
We may be a
week off. Okay,
we'll figure that out.
Episode 5, we'll do them in order. So episode 5, episode 4, episode 5. You know what those two will be, so be looking for them on YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel and the video. Share it around. Let everyone see it. We're just a couple guys from Tennessee and Kentucky, and a girl from Tennessee, and we are just talking about horror movies and shooting crap about what we like. And if you don't like our opinion, that's fine, because that's exactly what it is, an opinion. Period. So
just don't get butthurt. That's the big thing. You don't want to agree with me. I don't blame you. I probably wouldn't either, because that's who I am. But it's opinions, and it's fun to talk about movies with people with differing opinions. Because as much as I hate some movies, the idea that it's the best movie somebody else has ever seen, I really enjoy. I'm glad that somebody liked it enough that's in their top 5 or their favorite movie or whatever. And you can't downplay the significance a movie has and the impact that movie has on a different person than yourself. So that's important. That's really important. I try not to just shit on anybody's movie, regardless. But hopefully everybody will see. You'll understand more when we get into this.
Okay. All right, guys. You got anything to add?
Nope, good? I'm good.
All righty. Well, we thank you guys for joining us on Welcome to Horrorland. We will see you next week as we go over the top 2000s remakes that were in some ways a disaster, and some of them were good, some of them were a disaster. Again, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Welcome to Horrorland.
Peace.